Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the MHS softball field as Milford TV is happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics. Once again, this is Tim Coet on the call, and as we get closer and closer to the end of this 2017 spring sports season, we've got a lot of senior night coverage. We saw the baseball team against Hopedale in their senior night last week. Today, it is the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks softball team honoring their seniors pregame, a senior day matinee game as the Lady Hawks get set to take on the Foxboro Lady Warriors. And Milford right at the end of their home schedule. This is their final home game of the regular season for 2017. They have just one game remaining on their schedule overall after the game here today, and looking to close out the season on quite a remarkable winning streak. That winning streak up to 17 straight games heading into this afternoon's action. They tacked on to that winning streak with a game we covered here on Milford TV back on Wednesday as Milford took on their rivals North Attleboro. It ended up being a 6-3 win for Milford on Wednesday afternoon. A bit of a close game. North Attleboro really challenged Milford, in particular their starting pitcher, Kelly Reichert. We also saw a little bit of sloppy defense at times out of Milford, uncharacteristically so, through the middle innings of that game. But in the end, they were able to do enough to earn the victory, and Emily Pierre-Gustavo really leading the way for that win with another 4-hit performance, 4 for 4 with 3 doubles as part of that win. She also drove in 3 runs. So that brought the winning streak up to 17, now 17-1 overall on the season, 13-1 in league play, and Milford now, for the 5th consecutive year, or I believe the 6th consecutive year it might be, have now claimed a Davenport Division regular season title. They have claimed the Davenport Division title every year that they have been in the Hockomock League, and adding to that total again in this 2017 season, they have the opportunity to perhaps own a Hockomock League title overall on the season. They would need to win their final 2 games to guarantee an outright Hockomock League title, with Taunton still close behind them over in the Kelly Rex division. They come into today's action with an overall record of 14-4, but they are 13-1 in league play. The same identical record as the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks. So Milford hoping to finish out this winning streak to end the regular season in these next 2 games, and if so, they would not only guarantee themselves a Davenport Division title, but a Hockomock League title as well, and perhaps no worse than the number 2 seed in the Division I South bracket. We'll continue to keep a close eye on the Division I South standings as we go along in the broadcast here today. In the meantime, Milford's opponent in this senior afternoon game is the Foxboro Lady Warriors. A bit of a tough season for Foxboro on the year. They come in with a 4-11 record. They are 3-9 against Hockomock League competition. They are tied for 4th place in the Davenport standings, tied with Sharon coming into the game here this afternoon. It's the second matchup between these 2 teams on the season. It was a lopsided victory for Milford over at Foxboro High School back on April 20th, a 16-4 win. Milford has notched double digits in runs in each of the last 5 regular season matchups against the Lady Warriors dating back to the 2015 season, winning all 5 of those previous matchups, so looking to sweep this season series yet again. But of course, this is a very special game for the Lady Hawks this afternoon as they will honor their 3 seniors, Maggie Farrell, Caitlin DeCapua, and Allie Atherton. Just an absolute standout class of seniors. Every year we talk about it, just extreme contributions made by all of these classes that we've seen come and go for Milford High School. A lot of dedication to the program, a lot of hard work put in, and of course these 3 names, Maggie Farrell, Caitlin DeCapua, and Allie Atherton, have really been front and center in the success of this team this season. 2 of the biggest bats in the lineup in Farrell and DeCapua, and of course Allie Atherton, the 4-year starter in the pitcher circle. She has seen action just about every single game that Milford has played in her 4-year varsity career. All 3 of them standouts, and all 3 of them will be honored here prior to the game today. We will bring you some of those senior day festivities as the Foxboro seniors will be honored as well. So we'll get to that ceremony. But before we do that, we'll bring you the starting lineups for the team now. And we'll start with the Foxboro Lady Warriors. Leading it off is their center fielder, Kelly McCarthy. The catcher, Hannah Davis, bats second, with Lexi Buckner, a standout offensive player. She plays second base and bats third. Kelly Fisher, one of the seniors, is the first baseman, batting cleanup, with Cameron Willis, the shortstop, batting fifth. Chelsea Gibbons plays third base and bats sixth, with Mandy Ryan, the right fielder, batting seventh. Shannon Smalley is the starting pitcher, batting eighth, and in the ninth spot, the left fielder and the other senior on this Foxboro squad, Jamie Gorham. And for the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks, here is their starting lineup. Kate Irwin leads it off in center field. Emily Pierre-Gustavo is the shortstop, batting second, with Maggie Farrell, the left fielder, batting third. Jess Tomaso plays first base and bats fourth, with Caitlin DeCapua, the third baseman, in the number 5 spot. Emily Hartman catches and bats sixth, with Allie Atherton, the starting pitcher, batting seventh. Maddie Bonvino bats 8th and plays second base, and Shannon Cormier plays right field and bats 9th. So all of the seniors on both of these teams in their respective starting lineups. And again, those seniors will be honored with a brief pregame ceremony before we get started. It is the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks taking on the Foxboro Lady Warriors. And once again, we want to welcome in all of our live stream viewers. We've had a lot of our spring sports coverage streaming live on the live stream app. You just have to download that live stream app on your mobile device and search for the Milford TV Educational Channel to find all of our live streaming sports coverage. We also stream live on milfordtv.net as well. So welcome aboard to all of our live streaming viewers. We'll get this game going in just a little bit here on Milford TV. We will miss each of you very much and hope to see you back here often. First, Captain Maggie Farrell with her parents Lori and John. Captain Caitlin DeCapua with her parents Susan and Skip. Captain Allie Atherton with her parents Anna and Derek. Again, a heartfelt congratulations to Maggie Farrell, Caitlin DeCapua, and Allie Atherton. We have had an opportunity over the past 3 seasons to cover this softball team a great deal, dating all the way back to the preliminary round playoff game between Milford and Franklin back in the 2014 season. That was one of our earliest sports coverages for the spring sports season. So we have had an opportunity to see these 3 players grow immensely over the last 3 seasons and, of course, contribute heavily to some very talented softball programs, making the postseason in each of those years, making deep playoff runs in the past 2 seasons. And 3 extremely talented athletes, but very strong students and great individuals as well. So for Maggie, Caitlin, and Allie, we congratulate them on this senior day. We also congratulate the 2 seniors for Foxboro as well. And this game about to get underway. Allie Atherton concluding her warm-up tosses in the pitcher circle. This will be Allie's 13th game in which she's appeared in the pitcher circle this season. It will be her 11th start. And so far on the season, she comes in with a record of 9-1. She's thrown 4 complete games on the season, 3 of those complete game shutouts. She also has 2 saves on the season. She earned a save in her appearance in the 7th inning on Wednesday in the team's victory over North Attleboro. So far in 62 innings pitched, Allie has allowed a total of 44 hits, 18 runs, just 10 of them earned. She's walked 10 while striking out 61 and comes in with a 1.13 ERA and a .87 whip. Outstanding stats once again for the senior captain. And she will face the top 3 batters in the Foxboro order, Kelly McCarthy, Hannah Davis, and Lexi Buckner. As we bring you this coverage of Milford High School softball on Milford TV. Tim Coet here on the call. One of 2 senior night games that we will be covering on this Friday, the 19th of May. We will be in the Milford gym later on this evening for boys volleyball senior night. Anthony Mazzini will have the coverage of that game for you, so you can check out coverage of both of these games on Milford TV's educational channel as well as on YouTube. And now, without further ado, time to get this game underway. Allie Atherton into her windup, and the first pitch in to McCarthy is low for ball 1. It is another warm day as we have had a heat wave over these last 4 days here in Milford. Temperatures once again upwards of 80 degrees as that ball comes in up and in on McCarthy, and the count 2-0. There is a lot of emotion here at the Milford softball field for this game this afternoon. You could see the 3 seniors taking it all in as best they could prior to the game. And Allie looking a little bit amped up on those first 2 pitches. She's fallen behind Kelly McCarthy 2-0. Ready with another pitch, and there is a called strike 1. Allie was lights out in that 7th inning against North on Wednesday, knocking them down 1-2-3. She had 2 strikeouts in the inning. Now ready with a 2-1 pitch, and this is floated over towards first base in foul ground. It is just Tommaso who makes the catch, and there is the first out of this top of the 1st inning. Defensively for Milford, it is Emily Hartman behind the plate, Caitlin DeCapua at 3rd, Emily Pierre-Gustavo at short, Maddie Bonvino at 2nd, and Jess Tommaso at 1st. Left to right in the outfield, Maggie Farrell, Kate Irwin, and Shannon Cormier. With 1 down, here is the catcher, Hannah Davis, digging in on the right side for Foxboro. And she takes the first pitch outside, so Allie starting off behind these first 2 hitters of the game. Milford in their penultimate game of the season. They will conclude regular season play, weather permitting, on Monday of next week. This pitch floated to third base. No problem for DeCapua to make the catch. And there are 2 away. And the next batter for Foxboro is Lexi Buckner, who has had a very successful season at the plate. She came into this week's action in the Hockomock League batting an even .500, good for the 6th best batting average in the Hockomock League. 13 hits and 26 at-bats, 6 runs batted in. She has 2 home runs on the year. And she takes the first pitch up for ball 1. Milford visiting Sharon High School on Monday to close out their regular season. There is the possibility of some rain on Monday, but hopefully those 2 teams will be able to get their softball matchup in. Right now a 2-ball, no strike count on the Foxboro second baseman. The bases are empty with 2 outs. And Atherton now ready with her next delivery. Here it comes, and it's swung on and missed. Getting that one past the bat of Buckner. A 2-ball, 1-strike count now as these fans, as well as the Milford bench, cheer on their senior captain, Allie Atherton, looking for a 1-2-3 inning. That ball dips in low, and that brings the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. Should Buckner reach, Kelly Fisher, one of Foxboro's seniors, would be the next batter to come to the plate. A 3-1 pitch, and that's low for ball 4. So Atherton cannot finish off the 1-2-3 inning, and now that will bring up the cleanup hitter, Kelly Fisher, to the plate. One of 2 captains on this Foxboro roster. Fisher, the senior captain, also a junior captain in Hannah Davis. Davis lining out to third base in the previous at bat. So a runner on with 2 outs now. And Atherton able to start off ahead now to her first batter of the game as she deals in strike 1 to Fisher. Atherton's pitch, and that's low. Seen a lot of pitches low, missing the strike zone from Atherton in the first inning. It was a very crisp infield, outfield for Milford prior to the game. Very machine-like. Coach DeVito very pleased with how his team looked prior to the game. The 1-1 pitch. This is lined out to right field, and that hangs up for Shannon Cormier to come in and make the catch for the out that ends the inning. So the 2-out walk proves to be harmless. We've played a half an inning now from the Milford High School softball field. It is no score. Milford will take their first swings of the game when we come back next here on Milford TV. Bottom of the first inning about to get underway here in Milford. And the usual suspects atop the Milford batting order, Kate Irwin, Emily Pierre-Gustavo, and Maggie Farrell, due up against Shannon Smalley, the starting pitcher for Foxboro. We most recently saw Shannon as part of the absolutely excellent Foxboro girls basketball team back during the winter sports season. That was a powerhouse program that went deep in the playoffs, dominated Milford in their matchups in the regular season. So a talented basketball player now on the softball field. And she deals in ball 1 to Kate Irwin. Kate, meanwhile, comes into this afternoon's action with a .424 batting average. And she lets that pitch go by for ball 2, a quick 2-ball, no-strike count. Back on Wednesday against North Attleboro, Irwin was officially credited for 1 hit. We had her reaching base 3 times in the game, scoring 3 runs. Was once again a factor atop this batting order, as she has been all season long. A 3-ball, no-strike count, and that is not close for ball 4, so she reaches base yet again. And it puts a runner on for the lethal bat of Emily Pierre-Gustavo, who was quite unstoppable on Wednesday against North, going 4 for 4, as we mentioned in the open. 3 doubles, 3 runs batted in, and that pushed her batting average well back over the 600 mark. 621 now on the season, which is the top spot in the Hockomock League. She now has an even 30 runs batted in on the season, retaking the lead in that category on the team, battling with Jess Tomaso, who has 29 runs batted in. Emily with 5 home runs. She has 5 triples, now 9 doubles with those 2 in the game on Wednesday. An extra base machine, ready to see a 1-1 pitch, and that is upstairs. And right now, Shannon Smalley having a bit of difficulty locating her pitches through these first 2 at-bats. She's only thrown 1 strike out of her first 7 pitches. Here's a 2-1 to Pierre-Gustavo. That's high for ball 3, and right now, these Milford batters being patient. Good plate discipline as always out of this Milford team. They are going to make pitchers work to prove they can throw strikes. Here's a 3-1 pitch, and that's low for ball 4. Back-to-back walks to open up the bottom of the first inning. An inauspicious start for Smalley, who will now face Maggie Farrell, who gets some loud cheers from the fans in attendance for this game. One of the 3 senior captains honored prior to the game on this senior day. Farrell digs in right on the inside part of the left side batter's box and takes the first pitch for ball 1. Now, 9 of her first 10 pitches have missed the strike zone. Smalley pitching her way into a jam in this bottom of the first. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that's down. It kicks just a few steps away from the catcher, but that was enough for both base runners to advance. So a passed ball, and now 2 in scoring position. Milford aggressive on the bases as always. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and this is a line drive out to center field. That is going to drop in for a base hit. The runners had to hang up, but now Kate Irwin crosses the plate. Pierre-Gustavo advances to third. She will hold there, and the senior comes through with an RBI single. Maggie Farrell putting Milford on top, 1-0. Runners at the corners for Jess Tomaso, as this Milford crowd continues to liven now as they start to see some offense. The pitch from Smalley, that bounces in, and it's blocked out in front by Hannah Davis, but still Maggie Farrell able to take second base. Right now, Milford capitalizing on every little miscue. 2 in scoring position yet again, and a 2-ball, no-strike count to Tomaso. Smalley really struggling to find her command. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and Tomaso lets that go for ball 3. So far, a pair of walks and an RBI single. And Tomaso swings away at that 3-1 pitch, drives it deep to straightaway center field, and that is gone. A 3-run home run for Jess Tomaso, and that immediately puts Milford on top by a score of 4-0. It's Tomaso's 4th home run of 2017. A line shot that quickly got out of straightaway center field. McCarthy just turning around and watching that ball go. Milford breaking things open early in this matchup against Foxboro. 4 quick runs. They have yet to record an out here in the bottom of the first inning, as now the senior captain, Caitlin DeCapua, steps to the plate. She swings at the first pitch and drives one out to center field. McCarthy underneath, and she will make the catch, and there is the first out of the bottom of the first. There is a pretty strong breeze here today, at times really gusting. And looking at the flags over in front of the bullpen, that wind blowing out towards left field, so if he can hit it up in that breeze, it won't take much to send it over the fence, and the batter at the plate more than capable of launching one out of any softball field, Emily Hartman. She has 3 home runs on the season. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This is hit on the ground. That's through the left side. And the hits keep coming for Milford in the first. That's now their 3rd. And we'll see the courtesy runner come out of the dugout. Antonia Bonina will take over on the bases for Hartman. At first base now, ahead of Allie Atherton in the starting lineup for this afternoon's game. Allie batting .296 on this 2017 season. She has 8 hits and 27 at-bats. And 4 of those 8 hits have gone for extra bases, 2 doubles and 2 triples, with 9 runs batted in. So Allie's really made the most of her plate appearances this season. Here's a 1-0 pitch and a big swing and a miss. Allie perhaps taking an aim at those outfield fences, looking to connect on a home run on her senior day. Here's the 1-1 pitch. This is dribbled on the ground towards shortstop, but that is through for a hit. And Bonina goes first to third as she will come around to score. That ball spending a long time in the outfield. And Atherton ends up at third base. A 5-0 lead now for the Lady Hawks. It was tough to see from our vantage point what exactly transpired in the outfield. We'll rule that a triple for now. We'll check with the official scoring of Tim Walsh after the game, but right now we'll rule it an RBI triple for Allie Atherton. And a 5-0 lead as this first inning continues. Now the 8th batter of this inning to step to the plate, Maddie Bonvino. Maddie with a .385 average. Takes the first pitch outside for a ball. Bonvino in 52 at-bats so far on the season, has an even 20 hits. 8 of them have gone for extra bases, including a home run. A 2-ball, no-strike count on Bonvino. And that pitch drifts up and away. 3 balls and no strikes now on Bonvino. For Foxboro, offense hasn't really been the problem. They have scored 71 runs so far on the season. That is fourth highest in the Davenport division. But they have allowed a total of 105 runs to this point on the season as Smalley dishes ball 4 to Bonvino. That's her 3rd walk of the inning. It puts runners at the corners now as Milford will send their number 9 hitter to the plate, Shannon Cormier. Foxboro really struggling through the middle part of this regular season. suffering through a 9-game losing streak from April 28th to May 16th, as this ball is sent foul down toward the left field corner. They were able to break out of that losing streak with a 10-5 win against Canton on May 17th. They followed that up just yesterday with a 3-2 victory against non-conference Dedham. So following up that 9-game losing streak with back-to-back wins. But falling behind 5-0 here as the pitch skips in low and is gathered in on the backhand by the catcher. Defensively in this game for Foxboro, Hannah Davis behind the plate, Chelsea Gibbons at third, Cameron Willis at short, Lexi Buckner at second, and Kelly Fisher at first. Left to right in the outfield, Jamie Gorham, Kelly McCarthy, and Mandy Ryan. This ball sent to shortstop, and Cameron Willis unable to get a secure handle on the softball, and everyone will be safe, and a run comes in from third base. Just a tough play, maybe a lack of ability to make a quick decision there at shortstop for Willis. She bobbled it briefly, then looked to home, looked to first, and ultimately did not throw to either direction. So credit Cormier with an infield single. An RBI as Atherton crosses the plate. And a 6-0 Milford lead with runners at first and second, and now second time through the order. Milford batting around here in the first. Irwin walked and scored earlier in the frame. Now ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. So a 3-ball, no strike count now to Irwin. And that a called strike. A borderline pitch right at the upper outside corner. And that pitch low and away for ball 4. So that time Irwin works the walk, her second free pass of the inning. And a dangerous situation here for any team as the bases are loaded for Emily Pierre-Gustavo, and the head coach for Foxboro now out for a chat with his starting pitcher. The head coach for Foxboro is Mark McGuire. Not the Mark McGuire of Major League Baseball fame, of course. The head coach out there now with a conference amongst his entire infield. And we'll see a pitching change here as it turns out. As Smalley comes out of the game, she will be replaced by Emma Rohan. The sophomore coming on to pitch, and with the difficult task again of facing Pierre-Gustavo with the bases loaded, we will pause as Rohan goes through her warm-up tosses. A 6-0 Milford lead. Only 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. We'll be back in just a moment here on Milford TV. A golden opportunity for Emily Pierre-Gustavo to really put this game out of reach before we even conclude the first inning. Milford already with a 6-run lead. The bases are loaded. Pierre-Gustavo at the plate, and she grounds one quickly past the third baseman's glove for a hit. 1 run in. Jamie Gorham able to get the ball quickly back on the infield, so only 1 run scores. It will be an RBI single for Pierre-Gustavo, who has reached base in her last now 6 consecutive plate appearances dating back to Wednesday's game, and in all likelihood is even more than that. Having an opportunity to cover back-to-back softball games. It was tricky to get in our coverage for softball this season with all of the rainouts. And a shorter home schedule than usual for Milford this year to begin with, but happy to be here once again. And right now the offense reigning supreme, a 7-0 Milford lead, and a 2-ball no strike count on Farrell, and you can make it 3 balls and no strikes. Maddie Bonvino scoring on that RBI single from Pierre-Gustavo, as that ball misses for ball 4 to Farrell, and that will force in a run. And that's now 5 walks in the inning for Foxboro pitching. 4 of them for the starting pitcher, Shannon Smalley, and now Emma Rohan with a walk. That forces Cormier in, and now Jess Tomaso sends one out into the gap in left center field. Irwin comes in to score. Pierre Gustavo right behind on the RBI double for Tomaso. And Milford up to double digits now in the run column. Running away and hiding with this game in the first inning. It's now 10-0. So you now can officially close the book on Shannon Smalley, allowing the first 10 runs of this game. Or excuse me, allowing the first 9 runs of the game. Pierre Gustavo, the runner belonging to Emma Rohan. But nonetheless, a 10-0 lead already for the Lady Hawks. They have 2 more runners in scoring position. Still only 1 out in the inning. The only out made on a fly out for Caitlin DeCapua, her first time up. Now she flares the ball out to shallow center, down for a hit. Farrell will score as Milford takes it 1 base at a time, and they take an 11-0 lead. So DeCapua now getting a hit. Everybody in this Lady Hawks lineup has reached in the first inning now. And Jess Tomaso, meanwhile, who is now the runner at third base, is already halfway to the cycle with a home run and a double. Emily Hartman now at the plate. She singled and scored a run her first time. Takes a breaking ball for a called strike on the inside part of the plate. Hartman, the 15th batter to come to the plate in the top of the first inning. Hartman swinging away at a pitch that looked up and out of the strike zone. And she is now down in the count, 0-2. Rohan ready with her next pitch, and this ball is sent high in the air down the left field line. Jamie Gorham giving it a look, but that was out of play. Stays an 0-2 count. Allie Atherton, the batter on deck. It's been a long time since she was in the circle. But enjoying this rally as now Hartman sends this ball out to shallow center field. It touches down just a few feet behind second base. It will go as an RBI single for Emily Hartman to make it an even 12-run lead. As once again, we'll see Bonina run for Hartman. So Hartman 2 for 2 in this first inning. Now with a run batted in, as well as a run scored. And here is Atherton. We credited Allie with a triple her first time up. A judgment call. As that ball spent a long time out in the left center field gap. The 1-0 pitch is floated in the air foul, and that one just missing the student section just to the left of the first base dugout. And now Atherton rips this ball back up the middle for a base hit. It will go as a single, no runs scored. As again, Milford is content to just take this game 1 base at a time with the 12-run lead. And Lucy Creedon now to run for Atherton. So now Allie with a triple and a single in this first inning. An incredible offensive display once again for a team that came into today as a team, mind you, hitting .414. with a .626 team slugging percentage as Bonvino sends the ball foul out of play. On the whole, Milford this season has scored 184 runs. As Bonvino pops this ball up on the infield, it should be playable. As now it drops in, and they'll say it was a foul ball. It is a tough breeze. Chelsea Gibbons coming in, the catcher, also there in the area, but that ball drops. The at-bat continues for Bonvino. And now she hits that one quickly foul over towards the third base dugout. Bonvino walked and scored a run earlier in this very lengthy bottom of the first inning. And now a swing and a miss. That ball briefly gets out of the catcher's glove, but with the bases loaded, nowhere for Bonvino to go, so she strikes out. There is out number 2 of the inning. And the 18th Milford batter will come to the plate in the bottom of the first inning, and we will see a pinch hitter as Kelly Reichert has grabbed a bat to come out in place of Shannon Cormier. So Shannon reached on an infield single and drove in a run in her first at bat, and now Kelly Reichert will have a chance to take a swing. With Kate Irwin waiting on deck, who could possibly take a third at bat in this first inning. We'll see what happens with Kelly. She swings and misses on the first pitch for strike 1. Here's the next pitch, and it's swung on and missed. Reichert with some big cuts on those first 2 swings, and now down in the count. Emma Rohan trying to finally bring an end to a very difficult first inning. Here's her pitch, and this is a line shot out towards center field. It touches down for a hit. DeCapua scores. Right behind her is Antonia Bonina. A 2-run single in the first at bat of the game for Kelly Reichert, and it makes it a 14-0 lead. And we will indeed see a third at bat in this first inning for leadoff hitter Kate Irwin. And Irwin takes just the second strike she's seen in her 3 at bats. She's walked twice, the first time on 4 pitches, the second time on 5 pitches. And now a 1-ball, 1-strike count. The home side of the score sheet getting a workout in the bottom of the first inning. A 2-ball, 1-strike count to Irwin. She scored 2 runs in this first inning. And now to a 3-ball count. The next one on the way, and that is up and away for ball 4. There's the 3rd walk of the inning for Irwin. Getting a lot of creative cheers from the sidelines as a lot of Kate's basketball teammates are in attendance for this game this afternoon. Now here's Pierre Gustavo. She grounds one foul right over to head coach Steve DeVito and could not make that play cleanly. I think he would score that one in E10. Third base coach unable to play it cleanly. And now Pierre Gustavo skies this ball out to left field, and underneath to make the catch is Jamie Gorham, and that will finally bring an end to a first inning that saw Milford send 20 batters to the plate. They score 14 times, and after just a single inning of play, it is Milford 14 and Foxboro 0 here on Milford TV. Finally, we have advanced to the second inning. A 14-run output for the Milford offense in the bottom of the first inning, very quickly putting this game out of reach. couple of defensive changes for Milford as the second inning begins. We'll give them to you after the next pitch. A hard foul ball off the bat of Cameron Willis. Shannon Cormier, after getting pinch hit for in the bottom half of the inning for her second at bat, now out of the game. Jess Tomaso moves from first base out to right field. And Kelly Reichert, who made that pinch hitting appearance, now in the game playing first. The rest of the defensive alignment remains the same. Atherton facing Willis. A check swing attempt, and it is now a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Willis, Gibbons, and Ryan, the three batters expected for the Lady Warriors. Here's the pitch, and it's dribbled out towards the pitcher's circle. Atherton plays it on the backhand, gets it to first. And 1-3 on that ground out. Atherton staying active in that bottom half of the inning, taking 2 at-bats and collecting 2 hits. But it's been somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 minutes since Atherton last pitched. But getting that first out on the leadoff batter. And now a first pitch strike into Chelsea Gibbons, the starting third baseman. Foxboro did have a base runner in their half of the first on a 2-out walk, but that was all. Now sending one hard to the backstop. And the count goes to 0-2. Atherton back into the windup, and the pitch that misses. A very nice pregame ceremony for the 3 seniors before we got underway with game action. The parents of each of Milford's 3 seniors here for a photo opportunity out by the pitcher's circle. As that ball is swung on and missed for strike 3. There's the first K for Atherton. A very strong feeling of family amongst this entire Milford softball program. A lot of the parents who are maybe not seen here at the field on a day-to-day basis, certainly instrumental in the progress of their student athletes over the course of not only their high school varsity careers, but you think about all of the hours these parents dedicate to getting their kids to practices, to games, helping them with workouts along the way. A lot of hours and a lot of sacrifice put in by the families. And that certainly does not go unnoticed by head coach Steve DeVito or anyone here with the softball program. And I know a lot of appreciation amongst these girls on the Milford softball team as well for what their parents and family members do for them. A 1-ball, 2-strike count on Mandy Ryan, the right fielder. Bright sunshine streaking down overhead. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and it swung on and missed. Ryan going after a high fastball up and out of the strike zone. Back-to-back Ks now for Atherton. And that will do it for the bottom of the first inning. She finishes off the frame with those consecutive Ks, and we'll head on to the bottom half of the second inning with a 14-0 Milford lead here on coverage of Milford High School softball on Milford TV. The senior captain, Maggie Farrell, leading off the bottom half of the second inning and wasting no time, collecting her second hit of the game. And it's already her third appearance on the bases. And that brings up Jess Tomaso, who is already halfway to the cycle. She hit a 3-run home run and a 2-run double, all in the bottom of the first inning. So 2 hits, 2 extra base hits, and 5 runs batted in. Already on the day for the cleanup hitter, Jess Tomaso. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's inside. Jess now playing right field. Moving out there defensively after Shannon Cormier came out of the game, and now Tomaso rips this ball out to left field. It's gathered in by Gorham, And there's your third hit for Tommaso. A single, and she now needs just a triple to complete the cycle. And Milford going right back to work. Back-to-back hits to lead off the second inning, and now here is DeCapua. She swings at the first pitch, pops it straight up. The third baseman, Gibbons, has it under control. She makes the catch in foul ground. And DeCapua now 1 for 3. Now here's Emily Hartman, who has already come through with a pair of singles, a pair of runs scored, and an RBI. She hits one right back up the middle, and the catch made by Emma Rohan in the circle. That was complete reflexes for Emma Rohan. Put the glove just in the right spot, and had she not, that might have had dangerous results. So the catch made for out number 2 is now Atherton lines one to the backstop. So 2 away. Foxboro would love to have a quicker conclusion to this inning. As Atherton takes that pitch low and inside, skipped in the dirt. On the way into the catcher's mitt. Allie looking for her third hit. And sends this ball in the air out to right field. Mandy Ryan towards foul ground is unable to make the catch. First baseman Kelly Fisher also giving it a look, but that one landing harmlessly foul. And it goes for strike 2. And an off-balance swing for Atherton there. She goes down on strikes, and that will bring an end to the second inning. So this time, Milford sends just 5 batters to the plate in the second inning. They do not score, and that will move us on to inning number 3. Still a 14-0 lead for the Lady Scarlet Hawks here on Milford TV. As the Lady Scarlet Hawks honor their current class of seniors on their final home game of the year. Hard not to notice over in the student section the return of the members of the class of 2016 on this softball team, the 2 senior captains from last year's squad, Meg Jakes and Jill Powers, returning from college and taking in some softball action. Certainly a strange sight to see them not active in the game. Another pair of players that left a lasting legacy here as part of the Milford softball program, so good to have some of the extended Lady Scarlet Hawks family in attendance for the game today. Enjoying seeing their fellow Lady Hawks players put on an offensive display. 14-0 the score as Allie Atherton retakes the circle for inning number 3. Facing batters 8, 9, and 1. And Rohan sends this ball down the third base line. A diving attempt for DeCapua. It kicks off of her glove, off the third base bag. And Emma Rohan will reach. So the sophomore pressed into service in this game after Shannon Smalley was only able to record 1 out in the first inning. Rohan came in relief and now taking Smalley's spot in the batting order. And coming through with a leadoff single. And now Jamie Gorham, who is one of Foxboro's 2 seniors, I should say. Starts off down in the count, 0-1. The next pitch, a bunt attempt from Gorham that goes foul. Once again, plenty of activity around the athletic fields here in Milford. Boys lacrosse going on behind us, also tennis directly behind us as well. So all of these spring sports teams continuing to close out their regular season schedules, as we'll also have boys volleyball later on in the gym this evening. As that ball is sent foul and out of play, and they count 0-2 with a runner on and nobody out in the inning. Atherton ready for another pitch. Here it comes, and it's once again popped up foul over the backstop and out of play. Foxboro making Atherton work a bit in these first two at-bats of the third inning. A single, and now Gorham fouling off a number of pitches to stay alive. Here comes another 0-2 pitch, and that is in for a called strike three. Now the throw down to second base. That drifts away from Pierre Gustavo's glove. Now the runner will try for third, and she will get there without a throw. And so that will end up going as a stolen base and then a throwing error on the catcher, Emily Hartman, to allow the courtesy runner to advance to third base. Gorham down on the strikeout. So with one down, we go second time through the order. And Kelly McCarthy takes ball one. The courtesy runner, Jill Finn, a sophomore at third base, running for Emma Rohan. And that ball swung on and missed. We'll start to look at some of the most up-to-date standings around Division I South as this game goes on. First, a 1-1 pitch and a hard bunt attempt sent foul. Unbelievable to see Silver Lake yet again working on an undefeated season. They went unbeaten in the 2016 regular season, advanced all the way to the Division I South Finals, and now 18-0 on the season. They continue to be the top team in D1 South, as that ball is in there for a called strike three. The second strikeout of the inning for Atherton, her fourth now in the outing. And outside of Silver Lake, Milford next. With their 17-1 record, if the season were to end today, they would be the number 2 seed. As this ball is chopped foul wide of third base. Braintree right now has moved into the number 3 ranking position by virtue of a 12-1 record. Hopkinton is next at 13-2. Then it is Taunton at 14-3, and Marshfield, who suffered a late season loss to drop to 13-3. Then it is King Philip with the 7th best record at 14-4. This ball popped up on the infield. Pierre Gustavo makes the catch, and that will bring an end to the inning. Despite getting a runner to third base, Foxboro fails to score, and we will head now to the bottom half of the third inning. It is Milford 14 and Foxboro 0 here on Milford TV. Batters 8, 9, and 1 due up in this home half of the third inning, and as this one goes on, the cheering getting more and more imaginative from the student section. Maddie Bonvino unable to contain the smile at the cheers as she steps into the batter's box, drives the ball out to center field, but it hangs up long enough for Kelly McCarthy to make the catch. Bonvino still looking for her first hit in this one. Out number 1, and now Kelly Reichert steps in for her second at bat since taking over in the batting order for Shannon Cormier. I'm not sure if there was an injury that was possibly a factor in removing Cormier from the game. She made the start, but was removed for her second at bat in the first inning. As that ball makes contact with Kelly Reichert, just grazing maybe the arm. So a 1-out base runner as Kate Irwin will take her 4th at bat. Within the first 3 innings, she's done the same thing all 3 times she's come to the plate, and that is walk. She will start off this at bat taking a look at a called strike. Kate with 2 runs scored so far today. That brings it up to 29 runs scored overall on the season for Kate. That is Good for second on the team behind only Emily Pierre-Gustavo, as Irwin now will collect her first hit of the afternoon as she singles. Drives it through the left side of the infield. And speed on the bases ahead of Emily Pierre-Gustavo, who after going 4 for 4 on Wednesday and then reaching in her first 2 at-bats today, finally recorded an out. Her last time up, she popped up to left field, and that was the at-bat that finally brought the first inning to a close. She has an RBI to her credit, along with 2 runs scored so far today. A 2-ball, no-strike count as Emma Rohan continues to work in the circle for Foxboro. Pierre-Gustavo lifts this ball out to left field. And again, Gorham is there to make the catch. And Pierre-Gustavo now 1 for 3 overall today. 2 down in the third. And another at bat for senior captain Maggie Farrell, who has singled twice, she's walked, she's scored twice, and driven in a run. Everyone with lofty hitting stats so far in the afternoon, despite us only being in the third frame. And Farrell takes a pitch high for ball 1. Maggie with a .478 average. And now hits one softly out behind third base. That's a fair ball. Kicks into foul ground, gathered in by the shortstop. So there is the third hit this afternoon for Farrell, making the most of her final regular season home game. And the base is now loaded for Milford with Kelly Reichert at third and Irwin at second, and Jess Tomaso at the plate. Tomaso has been unstoppable this afternoon. A home run, a double, and a single with 5 runs batted in. If she comes through with a triple here, she'll complete the cycle. A couple of foul balls off of Tomaso's bat has her in an 0-2 hole. Here's the 0-2 pitch now, and that stays high. Rohan quickly with another pitch, and this one is hit off the end of the bat to second. The play by Buckner, the throw to first base, and that will collect the final out in the third inning. Milford loads the bases. They do not score, and it continues to be a 14-run cushion for the Lady Scarlet Hawks. On to the fourth inning we go next on Milford TV. 14 runs on 15 hits through 3 innings for the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks. They do have 1 error in the game. Foxboro with no runs on just 1 hit, as they will send Lexi Buckner, Kelly Fisher, and Cameron Willis against Allie Atherton in the top of the 4th. And trying to check the swing, but Buckner went around. Buckner reached in the first inning on a walk. By far the most dangerous batter in this Foxboro lineup with a .500 batting average. About to see an 0-2 pitch. She swings away and sends it foul and off towards the Milford bullpens. Can see a lot of thought went into decorating the field of play here for Senior Day. A lot of photos attached to the fences all the way around. Some signs with well wishes for the seniors. And some great pictures behind the plate as well, as that ball misses outside. Side-by-side photos of the 3 senior captains, one from the start of this season and one clearly from back in their youth softball days. And a lot of the players enjoying taking a look at those photos prior to the game. I'm sure our intrepid cameraman Malcolm Zale was able to capture all of those images prior to the game. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Lexi Buckner. Here's the pitch, and it swung on and missed. Atherton piling up the strikeouts. She now has 5. 2 Ks in the third, 2 in the second. And now striking out Lexi Buckner to open up the 4th. And now we'll see Kelly Fisher, who lined out to right field, I should say, her first time up. As the breeze picks up again here at the softball field. The next time we'll see game action here at the Milford softball field will be in the MIAA playoff tournament. Playoff games expected to get underway right around the 1st of June. They will determine the playoff seedings just after Memorial Day weekend. As this ball is popped foul, and it's a no-ball, 2-strike count. And depending on how many teams end up in the Division I South bracket, we'll see if Milford possibly gets a bye through the first round. But obviously where they are in the potential seedings right now, we'll definitely see some home playoff games. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and this is in the air out to right field. Now in comes Cormier, who's returned now to the field. Or excuse me, that's Lucy Creedon out there in right field now. She can't make the catch, a little bit of a late break. Possibly a tough read out there. Again, kind of a swirling breeze here at the softball field now. So Creedon couldn't make the catch. A bloop single for Kelly Fisher. And now this ball sent foul. Just up over the bleachers and out of play. And so as we take a look around the outfield now, we do see more changes. We'll get to those after this next pitch. This one fouled away as well. So Lucy Creedon now in right field. It looks like Maggie Farrell has moved to center. And Sabrina Harstick in the game now. She is in left. So Kate Irwin out of the game, as is Jess Tomaso, who would move to the outfield. Here's an 0-2 pitch, and that misses low and away. Caitlin DeCapua remains at third. And so my apologies, Jess Tomaso still in the game. She is now at shortstop, so she has moved all around the field so far through these early innings. As this ball is picked up in the circle by Atherton, but the ball off the fingertips of the glove for for Kelly Reichert at first base. Atherton able to make a good play in the circle, but her throw to Reichert maybe just a tad high. Reichert with good height, she could have pulled that down, just a misplay. But the error will likely go on the throw. And so that's the second Milford error. They made 3 errors in the game on Wednesday. So Cameron Willis able to reach. As that ball is swung on and missed, so it'll likely go as a single and an E1, allowing Willis to advance on the play. Fisher takes third, so runners at second and third with 1 down, and Chelsea Gibbons at the dish. As now this ball is bunted, and that is a dead ball. Strike 2. So Atherton trying to preserve the shutout, but as 2 runners in scoring position with 1 down, she'd love to get a strikeout here of Gibbons, who did strike out in her previous at-bat. Here's the pitch, and that is a swing, says the home plate umpire. Good for strike 3. Atherton getting her 6th K. Her second strikeout of this inning, and it does bring the second out. Keeps those runners at second and third. And Mandy Ryan now in on the right side, grounds it to shortstop. Tomaso has to rush the throw to first base, but she does get it there in time. Tomaso tested as she takes over at short and completes the 6-3 out that ends the inning. 2 runners stranded in scoring position for the Lady Warriors, and we will head to the bottom half of the fourth inning. The score unchanged, 14-0 in favor of Milford here on Milford TV. Caitlin DeCapua leads off the bottom of the fourth inning, swings at the first pitch and grounds it to deep short, hustles down the first base line, but the throw beats her by a running step. A hard throw from Cameron Willis with DeCapua hustling down the line. Gets there just in time, a 6-3 ground out. Now here is Emily Hartman. She takes the pitch inside for ball one. Emily 2 for 3 on the day. Swings away and sends this one to the opposite field. That's down for a hit, and it gets past the center fielder. Extra bases for Hartman, who cruises into second with a one-out double. So there is the third hit for Emily Hartman. Now up to 23 total hits on the season. Bonina pops out of the dugout to take over on the base paths, and now Allie Atherton, the next batter. She is 2 for 3. And the first pitch from Rohan is fouled away and narrowly missing some spectators as well as a vehicle heading up the path out of the parking lot behind the softball field. A trio of fans leaving from the lacrosse game had no idea that ball was coming. Fortunately, it did not land too close by. Here's the 1-1 pitch now. That's down and in. From the sound of it, there is activity warming up in the Milford bullpen. We'll see if Atherton comes back out for the fifth or if Coach DeVito, utilizes a relief pitcher. A 3-ball, 1-strike count on Atherton. And she pops this ball up. That's foul. And the catch almost made by a lacrosse player wandering by. Maggie Farrell is the pitcher in the bullpen, getting that word from the rest of our Milford TV crew. And now Atherton drives the ball out to shallow center field. That drops in front of McCarthy for a hit. Bonina will take third as Atherton collects her third hit of the day. Runners at the corners with one out. And Kate Irwin, who was briefly removed from the game, now returns as a courtesy runner for Allie Atherton. And Atherton getting high fives as she returns to the dugout. Maddie Bonvino, meanwhile, the next batter with runners at the corners and one out. Milford so far doing all of their damage in the first inning, scoring 14 times. They've had runners on in the second and third, but were not able to capitalize. An opportunity here with runners at first and third. And Bonvino takes the first pitch for ball one. And the pitch from Rohan gets past the bat of Bonvino. One ball and one strike the count. The next pitch, that is high. A lot of smiles around this softball field as Milford closes in perhaps on their 18th consecutive victory. And depending on what happens in the top half of the fifth, this game may be a short one, at least in terms of innings. In terms of actual time of game, right about an hour and 20 minutes in, as that ball is fouled right off the end of the bat of Bonvino. Kicks it to the backstop. The count at 2-2. Maddie Bonvino, the only member of the original starting lineup to not come through with a hit so far today. She did reach on a walk in her first at-bat in the first inning. She's also struck out and lined out. A full count now. Here's the payoff pitch, and it's low for ball 4. The base is loaded now for Kelly Reichert. Kelly in the 9th spot in the batting order, once again taking an at-bat. She's now had 3 at-bats since taking over for Shannon Cormier. And she takes the first pitch for a called strike. Kelly drove in 2 with a single in her first at-bat and was then hit by a pitch. Now sends one out into shallow left center field, down for a hit. Antonia Bonina crosses the plate. And it's an RBI single for Reichert, now her 3rd run driven in today, and it makes it a 15-0 lead for the Lady Hawks. The base is reloaded, as we'll see the first at-bat of the afternoon for Lucy Creedon. And she takes the first pitch at the top of the zone for strike 1. Lucy Creedon's seen some activity at the plate lately. She now has 4 at-bats on the season. She has 2 hits, 3 runs scored, and 3 RBI. So in limited action, Creedon has contributed. She's quickly down 0-2. And now a swing and a miss for strike 3, so a tough at-bat there, taking over for Kate Irwin. And Creedon is the 2nd out now of this inning. Now Sabrina Harstick will bat in place of Emily Pierre-Gustavo. A lot of pinch hitters having the opportunity to get into the game. And Sabrina lines one hard to the backstop. This is Harstick's 2nd season with the varsity team. She's had 12 at-bats so far on the season, has a couple of hits, an RBI. Lays off that pitch. A call just barely nicking the outside part of the plate, a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Here's the next offering from Rohan. That bounces in front of the dish. The 3rd pinch hitter utilized by Coach DeVito this afternoon. About to see a 2-2 pitch. It's high. Milford has Irwin at 3rd, Bonvino at 2nd, Reichert at 1st, Harstick at the plate. 2 down in the bottom of the 4th. And here's the payoff pitch. And it's grounded back towards the circle, played cleanly by Rohan. She throws to 1st to get the final out of the inning. Milford once again leaves the bases full, but the scoreboard full as well. 15 runs for the Lady Scarlet Hawks. They lead it 15-0 heading into the top of the 5th inning. Foxboro will need a rally if we will continue beyond the top of the 5th. We'll see if they can do it when we come back next on Milford TV. We've reached the 5th inning here in Milford. And after 4 solid innings from the senior captain, Allie Atherton, we will see Maggie Farrell make a relief appearance. And she sends a fastball in high. Ball 1 issued to Emma Rohan, who will take her 2nd at bat for Foxboro. Both of these players, the pitchers of record for their, the current pitchers on for their respective teams. Rohan coming in relief of Shannon Smalley back in the 1st inning. Did a good job to keep Milford in check. Farrell with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. This is Maggie's 2nd appearance in the circle this season. Their 2-1 pitch is tapped down the 3rd base line. It's gobbled up by DeCapua, and she will throw to 1st to get the out. So Farrell pitching 1 inning of relief, facing 3 batters. She is not allowed a hit. She has a strikeout. One down and the base is clear now. And it looks like we'll see a pinch hitter now for Foxboro as Jill Finn, the sophomore, will take the place of Jamie Gorham. And a swing and a miss for Finn. Now the pitch from Farrell, that's on the outside part of the plate for a called strike two. Pretty good velocity out of Farrell. Now the 0-2 pitch, that is swung on and missed, and a three-pitch strikeout for Farrell. Bringing the heat in this top of the fifth inning. She has the first two outs recorded. And now back to the top spot in the batting order in Kelly McCarthy. The current defensive alignment for Milford: Hartman behind the plate, to Capua at third, Tomaso at short, Bonvino at second, and Reichert at first, with Harstick in left. And it looks like Lucy Creedon may be out in center field now, with Allie Atherton out in right field. So Creedon in center, Atherton in right. There's your full defensive alignment. 1 ball and 1 strike on the batter, as that pitch just misses. And a 2-1 count. McCarthy 0 for 2. She's popped out and struck out. Perhaps the last batter of the day for Foxboro. Here's the pitch. And that one lined foul. And that skips over into the parking lot and came very close, uncomfortably close to a spectator. But no damage done, and now a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Farrell is ready. She winds and fires, and that pitch high. On this senior day here at the Milford High School softball field, the senior captain on the mound. Farrell fires and sends it high, and that will go as ball 4. So McCarthy able to work the walk. Spoils the bid for a 1-2-3 inning for Farrell. And now this ball chopped on the ground to short. Tomaso has it. She fires to Kelly Reichert at first, and that out will bring an end to this bottom of the 5th inning. And a 15-run lead for the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks at the conclusion of 4.5 innings of play. And that will bring an end to this softball game this afternoon. It will be a mercy rule victory for the Lady Scarlet Hawks. They seal the deal on their 18th consecutive victory of the season, and on this senior day, they gave all of the family and friends in attendance a 15-0 mercy rule victory over Foxboro. So with the win, Milford improves to 18-1 on the season. That winning streak, 18 games and counting, and a 14-1 record now against Hockomock League competition. And now just 1 game remains on the regular season schedule. Milford will close out the season on the road on Monday, taking on the Sharon Lady Eagles. A win will seal a Hockomock League regular season title and perhaps the number 2 seed in the upcoming Division I South playoff bracket. We'll continue to monitor all of the progress for the softball team on the Milford Informer. But that will wrap up our coverage here today. A big thank you to all of our Milford TV crew on hand, our director for the game, Tim Rossetti, our camera operators, Rob O'Keefe and Malcolm Zale, and I am Tim Coette. That final score, one final time, 15-0, a mercy rule win on senior day for the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks over Foxboro. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics on Milford TV. So long, everybody.